What's up, boys? It's Nate Doggs Mac. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have another FIFA first investments video. This is number 2. Video number 1, I'll put the link in the description. We talked about ones to watch gold cards, buying those early on in FIFA 19. But today we're going to talk about more gold cards, this time just more OP or used cards that I think are going to be really used in FIFA 19. In FIFA 18 we saw a lot of cards that were low right before the game dropped, and when the game dropped they kind of hit a low while people opened packs, and then boom, right after that and into that first weekend league, which is the first weekend in October, the prices went through the roof of cards that were usable, playable, good nations, good leagues, and the correct positions. So if you guys are pumped for this video, if you're pumped for FIFA 19, for goodness sake, slap a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. More videos coming as FIFA 19 gets closer and closer. I'll be doing some live trading videos as well when the web app comes out. Super duper stoked for that. Let's get right into the video. So guys, as you can see here, I put a couple players on the screen. These are just totally concept cards, and I'm kind of splitting this video up into 3 different sections. We're going to go like low budget, medium budget, and then a higher budget, depending on how many coins you have. I'm going to put out some players that I think could be good investments based on just where they're playing and the situation of their card and their position. So as you can see here, I have a lot of this is the cheaper option right here. A lot of left backs and right backs, things that there aren't a lot of high rated players in those positions. But first off, I want to talk about Russillian. This man looks like he could have a monster card this year, early game monster card. He just completed a transfer over the summer to Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga. I did mention him in my first investments video number 1 as a possible ones to watch. We'll see if that happens. That's a long shot, but it could happen. But I think he's going to be huge for the first couple months of FIFA, basically because he's got pace, he's got decent card stats, and he's French. A lot of people are going to be building French squads with the World Cup winning side. Although he might not have been a part of it, I don't think he was a part of the team. He still is French. And at left back in the Bundesliga, you don't have that many options. You have Alaba, who's an 85 rated this year. He was in the top 100 ratings. And then after that, you maybe have Wendell. And then you have Russillian, based on how he played this year, is definitely due for an upgrade. I have him as an 80 rated here. His card last year was a 76 rated, I think, so it would be a sizable upgrade, but I think he's definitely got what it takes to get an 80 rated card. He actually just got an inform in FIFA 18. Last week's Team of the Week, he was in there with an 84 rated left back card, which was nasty looking. So I really hope that he makes it in as an 80 rated left back, and I think he could be a really good investment as people look to fill out their French teams, their Bundesliga teams, or make a hybrid between, let's say, a left mid Anthony Martial and a center back Jerome Boateng. If you can put those two guys together, each get him a soft link, that would be really huge for a hybrid squad. So I think Russillian's a good shout for that. Moving on to Santiago Arias, a new transfer to Atletico Madrid. I think he's going to have the promise to be a top 3 right back in La Liga, usable right back. I mean, obviously you have Juanfran, who's on that team with Arias. You have Carvajal and you have Semedo. Juanfran isn't really fast enough to be used, but Arias with 85 pace, if he gets an 80 rated card, if he gets that big of an upgrade, I kind of gave him a bigger upgrade too. He's a +3 from last year's FIFA 18. He had a 77 rated card. So if he ends up getting that big of an upgrade, we could see him being a vital part in starter La Liga teams. So watch for his card to also possibly get a ones to watch. He's a new transfer. But I think he's going to be huge for a low budget investment early on. He's like a number 3 kind of guy in the La Liga right back department. And then Danny Rose, I actually gave him a little bit of a downgrade. He was hurt a lot last year, didn't play much for Spurs, but somebody has to link to that new 84 rated Davinson Sanchez card that was leaked. I can find a picture on Twitter and link it in the description of this video. But there was an 84 rated Davinson Sanchez card. If you saw that floating around, that card looks like the new Eric Bailly, and you're going to need to get a green link to him somehow. And Danny Rose, if he doesn't get too big of a downgrade, is going to be your guy as an English left back for the Spurs. That's a green link right there, and then also provides other possibilities for good links at a left wing, a left mid, or a center mid position, since he is English. So these 3 guys right here are all kind of low budget. If you have you know, 50 to 100K, you can buy 10 of these cards, 10 to 15 of these cards for maybe 1 to 2K a piece, depending on how much they're going for early on FIFA 19, and look to double your money as people make their starter teams right after the game comes out. Now I want to move on to the middle tier of investments, and this is where it gets more interesting. As you guys have seen, 3 of these cards are actually ratings that have been confirmed by the top 100 cards that EA has put out. So Matuidi, Perisic, and Douglas Costa, all those are going to be their cards for FIFA 19 with those exact same stats and rating and position. Gabriel Jesus, that's just my guess and what I put for him. But all these guys I like as a middle tier investment. They're all going to have different price ranges, so we're going to have to feel that out. Gabriel Jesus might be more expensive than I think he is. But he's not being talked about too much. So when the full database of FIFA players drops, we'll have to get a real sense for all of these guys that I'm mentioning in this episode. We'll have to get a real sense of how much they're going to be worth, and at least on the market the first couple days, really observe their price and see if they are worth as much as they're costing. So Gabriel Jesus, though, he's Brazilian. He's from Man City, and that's a green link to that new 86 rated Leroy Sané, who everybody is going bananas about. That card looks nasty, and this card's going to be nasty too. If he plays as well as he did in game last year, his 81 rated card was like 40 to 50K early on in FIFA. This card could be 100K easy, depending on how good he is in game. So we'll have to watch that, but I like him as an early on investment because people won't be able to get him into their team right away, but they will be able to after a couple weeks of grinding the web app and grinding the game when it comes out. So that's why I like him. Douglas Costa, I like him because one thing, and that is the link to Alexandro. If you're building a team in the Calcio A, you're going to want to either have Douglas Costa or Perisic on the left side, because those guys are absolutely mental looking cards depending on your formation, and obviously, but the link to Alexandro is a super link, and Douglas Costa has 5-star skills. His shooting is the only thing, and a 3-star weak foot that aren't the most desirable about his card, but the 95 pace, the 91 dribbling, and the 5-star skills, there's going to be a lot of people that go after that card. Moving on to Perisic, Croatia got a lot of views during the World Cup for making their run. So Perisic, he got a lot of TV time, and you got to see him play, and I think a lot of people remember that, and they're going to say, hey, I want to use that Perisic card because it's pretty nasty. And looking at his card stats, 62 defending, like that's a big bump from his card last year. His 84 rated card last year at the beginning of Ultimate Team was going for around 5,000 coins. So this card is obviously going to go for more, but I think it's going to be a card that people are going to want to use. It's fast enough to use on the wing, 86 pace. He's got good shooting, good enough passing, good enough dribbling, and he's a bit more physical than other wingers. So if you need a taller option or a guy that you could maybe put at a left forward spot if you're running a 4-3-2-1, he could be one of your guys. And then Matuidi. I think Matuidi is going to be a central part of FIFA 19, basically because he is from Juve, he is French, so he can get links galore, and he's a great center midfielder and a CDM. He's got good enough passing to be a center mid, doesn't have the shooting to be a cam or an attacking midfielder, but he is great at defense, good work rates as well. So all these guys I expect to be middle tier budget. So if you have maybe 200 to 500K, you could pick up a couple of these guys, maybe 2 or 3 or 4, depending on their price, and then be able to sell them in that first weekend league and make some money off those cards. Let's look at the high rated options. So now moving on to the higher investing budgets. If you got maybe 500K, yeah, 500K to a mil, by the time that the full game comes out, you're going to want to look at some of these top tier guys because they can make you a lot of money as well. Picking up a couple of them, obviously Aubameyang is going to be expensive, Mertens, Royce, they're all going to be expensive. I could probably throw Gabriel Jesus into this category depending on what his card looks like. But a lot of these guys are definitely going to go up after the game drops. So if you can buy them before, that's the case with all of these cards. If you can buy them before the game drops, as I've been saying, that's going to be your time to buy. And then after, for that first weekend league, these cards are definitely going to go up. But Aubameyang, you got the 4-star skills. He did get a little bit of a downgrade, even though he had a mental year at Arsenal, 31 goals in 38 games. I think that's a combination from maybe Arsenal and Dortmund, not sure. But Still a mental card. He's got 94 pace, and that's the thing you see right away. So 94 pace with a 4-star weak foot and 4-star skills. People are going to be all over that. And also you have Royce. Last year I looked at Royce's price, and he was almost semi-affordable. But he is the top left mid in the Bundesliga. He's German, and he's just got... People know about Royce. If you're in the Bundesliga and you're making a team, you need Royce for that team. You can link him up this year with a probably upgraded Timo Werner card. You're going to have a lot of options there to link him up, as well as Goretzka. You're going to get links to him in the midfield. That'll be really good for Royce. And then Mertens. He's going to be a part of those Serie A teams that everybody is going to be making. If you've seen their cards that have come out from the Serie A, they're absolutely mental. And I mean, Mertens is going to get a green link, a strong link to 9 So if you're running that new 4-2-4, 4-2-4 formation. That's what I'm thinking of. The 4-2-4 formation. People are going to be all over that because it's got left wingers, striker, right winger, and then 2 CDMs or CMs. But the striker needs a link to that center mid. So I think Mertens is going to be a perfect option for that this year. He's got decent passing, so if all those 4 guys up top are going forward, he can dish out the ball if he needs to. But he's pacey, got good dribbling, and has solid shooting. And people are going to want to put them up top. I mean, you're going to want to have the Mertens beside your Douglas Costa, and beside your Perisic if you have him up there. So I think Mertens is one of the top striker options, unless you want a bigger striker like a Cardi or something like that. But I think Mertens, people always like the pace, and Mertens has got the good Belgium links. They had a good World Cup, so you get to see him there as well, and he is Serie A. So a lot of these guys, obviously the bigger the card you have, you need like price range. The more the card costs, you need to have more coins. So if you have 200k and you're going out and you're buying one Aubameyang, if he's even that cheap, that might not be the best use of your coins. But if you have anywhere from 50 to 100k, invest in those first 3 left backs that I showed, the left back, right back situation. Invest in something like that. If you have maybe 200k to 500k, you can look at something like the Douglas Costa, like the Matuidi, and guys like that. But if you have somewhere around 500k to 1,000,000 coins, you can buy a couple of these cards. If you buy 5 or 6 Royces for, let's say he's 100k this year, he was about 115k last year. If you buy if you buy 5 of those cards at 100k, 500k, you sell them a week later for 150k, you are making some big time money. That's 500k profit before tax. So that's some huge money you're going to be making right there. I'm going to be looking to get some of these guys as well. So if you guys think these are good players, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I think these investments are going to be pretty solid based on the amount of people that are going to want to use them in the weekend league. Thanks for watching the video, guys. It's been Nate Dog Mac. I will see you soon. Peace out.